Monday. Let's get stretching. A new week, but PT on Friday, so no real updates or check-ins until then. No informed updates or check-ins. I'll still be able to check in with uninformed updates. I'm gonna go for my walk later tonight. It's another family day. Just kind of poop tired. I think I've just been stacking up tired. Uh, Long walks, all that jazz. Starting with our stretches, down and up. Um, yeah, not much going on. We got a new video up for Wolfenstein. That's good. I think it's a much more interesting video. If you watched the last one and you were like, this game is a little bit old and I don't really know what's going on in it. Not that you can't understand what's happening, but like, why exactly would you play this? A lot of the flavor of the game, I would say, started to come into effect in like we made it through the little German town, and then we had to go into the catacombs to the crypt, and that um, started changing the game up to be more than just like say the original '90s Wolfenstein, where you're in hallways and dudes were coming out and you shot them. Um, there was something to appreciate about that start, where it was like, so this does have some of the old game's legacy. I don't know exactly how you would put it, but it was like, yeah, this was the old game, and so you get a little bit of this old game. Dudes in hallways, and you shoot them, and then the town was like, okay, well, you're not in hallways, but you're still shooting dudes, but interesting. And then the crypt was like, oh, the dudes are shooting the monsters, and and like so things were progressing into the game, becoming I think what it means to be, rather than homaging and paying respect to the old game, which was good. Uh, Possible that we were just our pace through the game was a little light or something. It felt a little slow. It has these sneaking mechanics, and so I guess there's a desire to advance slowly and get the drop on a new group of enemies, and that made a certain amount of sense in the town. Leaning around corners, and you don't want to get shot by guys up on roofs with rifles and stuff. So good, um, but it's weird. Advancing so slowly through it is probably pretty exciting as a player. You're like, I'm doing this. Like you have thoughts about like I'm sneaking up and I'm creeping and I'm looking. But when someone's watching, you're kind of like, like what's happening, especially if it's not being expressed. If you're not like, if someone's not like, I am sneaking up and looking and creeping because I don't want to get shot. That there's a tension there, I think, for the player, but for the person watching, it's like an extra layer of effort to have that tension be legit, to be realized, I suppose, more than legit. Yeah, and some story and stuff. There seems to be like a lack of like you have like items commands, and you can open up items and look at the items, and there's this like reticence to just like, well, just look at the options menu where the keys are and hit them. Uh, Maybe the thing would be for me to just like print out the commands and have them available for Andy, so he doesn't have to look at. I think maybe he doesn't like looking in the game because he thinks that's boring. But I think we don't want to miss out on content. He has like a journal he could be reading that has like dates of like, this is how things have been progressing from day to day. And we were even wondering at one point if one of the secrets we were trying to open, a secret door, maybe that was in the journal, or like we figured out how to open it anyway. But like some brutal there was like a sequence where you had to flip 3 switches, and they all had traps, and it's a save load game, so you're going to get through that. But if you didn't do it in the right order, apparently later on a room didn't open up for a reward, and I don't even know how you'd know there was a room. There was a place where the secret was sort of explained because there was just like a drawing on the wall that was like sun, moon, star or something. So you do it in that order. But that's just if you read it left to right or up to down or whatever. I was like, like nothing really jumped out that was like, you need to do this in order to go get that room. So I was like, how, that's pretty layered. How would you even know you missed it? That's the other side. Like you don't know it's there, and if you miss it, you won't care. Like unless you literally walk by it and it's like, oh, I tried to get in this room but I can't on like a note or something. Um, but if you don't get it and you don't know about it, then you don't care about it like de facto. So I'm not saying it shouldn't be there, but I was like, the whole nature of it was a little dodgy. Is like makes it sound like it's suspicious, but it was like, what have you really done here? That works pretty well to get my light back up. A little setup there. Yeah, not much else going on. The game's more interesting. So it's uh, Wolfenstein Episode 2, a little bit longer because it was more interesting. Uh, I get fatigued towards the end of it, but I also get loopy and a little more engaged because of it. So, but like I said, kind of tired. Like the tired thing where like I might work out later tonight um, was affecting me during that video too. Of like just kind of worn out. I don't know what we could really do about it other than me not working out or something, or do a lighter workout on days where I have other stuff to do. I think it would be fine. I don't think there's no Geneva Convention against me doing less workouts. Might do some light weightlifting tonight as well if I remember. So I want to do it, but once you get into a certain mode in the evening, it's just like out of sight, out of mind. But I want to do it. Arm is feeling pretty good, all fully recovered from 1 week ago to the day doing a lot of woodworking. That was fun. Um, yeah, we talked about Community Day yesterday. That was a thing. Um, hopefully get a new series going with Cray. I'm still posting old Halo vids. So if you're into Halo and you want to see some Halo 4, that's where we are at right now. You always jump in the beginning. It's YouTube. You can watch whatever episodes you want. Um, Halo 4 is quite a departure, but it's still basically Halo. But I remember being like, whoa, what are we doing here? And if you watch Halo stuff and you hear us joking about Destiny and you kind of wish there was more Halo for you to enjoy, the jokes aren't baseless. There's a lot of Halo in Destiny. And Destiny's a perfectly fine game. I would go into it just keeping in mind that it wants you to play it a lot versus like a Halo, which has a base experience and then offers a multiplayer thing where you can play it a lot more. Destiny will like try to this will be overstating it a bit, but it will try and nickel and dime your time out of it. It will just time gate things. It'll be like you've done all you can today. Come back tomorrow, and you're like, what is this? A cell phone? Like, but it is a pretty good little game. And if you get in there and you enjoy it, and you don't know where to go to find people, you just reach out to me, leave a comment, and I will direct you to a good community. They'll help you get geared and help you do the raids and they'll help you do anything. They're a good group. Lost count there. I think 5. Other than that, yeah, that kicks that light back on. That's nice. Yeah, not much going on. We watched check out Red Letter Media if you need like more informed but still funny takes on like movies and pop culture. We watched their review of the old Masters of the Universe movie, which is a live action He-Man thing last night. And even though we were kind of pooped from the recording, and the movie's an hour and 45 minutes long, which is somewhat of an accomplishment for like an action figure vehicle with Dolph Lundgren and Frank Langella, to be fair, and Billy Barty. Yeah. It it's a really bad movie, and I remember watching it as like a kid, and then watching it now, I was like, wow, it's bad in like so many ways. I just didn't like it back then. Like, this is like crap, and then now I'm watching it, I'm like, holy moly, what have they done? They were given this license and they were given money and they did this. Unbelievable. But yeah, Red Letter Media. I wonder if I could put them as a recommendation on the site. Like, follow these people. But yeah, so I don't know. Get out there, guys. We're coming up on 100 episodes, so we're gonna keep plugging along, and we'll see you next time.